Lagos State Police Command has arrested a 35-year-old woman, Adeola Adewale, for allegedly poisoning a 65-year-old man identified as Mr. Adebayo inside the service apartment in Abule-Egba, Lagos. According to the police, the pair rented the apartment on March 27th. Hours later, Adeola reportedly fled with Adebayo's car and personal belongings. A routine check by the housekeeper the next day led to the discovery of Adebayo's lifeless body. An empty syringe, malt cans, and water bottles were found at the scene, triggering suspicion of foul play. Spokesperson CSP Benjamin Hundeyin confirmed that operatives of the state CID arrested Adeola on April 26 in the Oko Oba area. She allegedly confessed to lacing a malt drink with poison and giving it to the victim. Autopsy reports from Lasut Mortuary reportedly corroborated the suspicion of poisoning. Adebayo's identity was also officially confirmed by investigators. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, CP Olundare Jumo, commended the efforts of the investigative team. He warned that all criminals would be brought to justice without delay. Adeola remains in custody as investigations continue into the motive and other possible accomplices in the crime. You know, just yesterday, Chidima was still in court for the killing of Ataga, and that has been a long case. It's kind of similar, you know, slightly similar to this. The only difference with this now is in the service apartment, he was found stabbed several times and all of those. You know, what are your thoughts as regards trust relationships in a social circle? I mean, first of all, let me gather your thoughts on this report. Then I want you to, you know, then on the other hand, let's talk about trust in social relationships. I mean, do you think we are losing it now? Let me gather your thoughts on this report, please.
This is another sad news, and just this kind of news brings that I mean, these things that happen in society is not just in this country, by the way. When you have cases of people poisoning on one hand, you have some people poisoning their will I say partners or people that relationship with. On the other part, you have some people beating their wives' heads, but you see people into going into organ harvesting and kidnapping. It's just too much on the rise, and I always try to understand the frame of thought when these perpetrators do these things. Do they won't be caught, or they feel they can escape justice? Because now you poison someone, you even left all the evidences. I'm not even trying. You should do murder right or anything. Just feel like people feel they cannot escape these things nowadays. You kill someone, you take life, whether it's by stabbing or it's poisoning, you have taken a life, right? And just want to there to not. I mean, there are better ways to go about things. I don't know what happened between them, if they had an issue of any sort, but I believe for every action, right, or for every reaction, there was an action in all of that. So I believe there was something happened that made her to do that, and it's definitely pre-planned. So it was because she didn't come. I mean, they don't have syringe in service apartments, right? So she probably planned it ahead to do all of this. So sleeping over the idea of killing someone, that thought, and going ahead to carry such action is a scary thought. And I just hope people out there would try not to think this is a way to solve situations or problems. I mean, that you are not happy in a situation, you take a leave, right? You move on and you do something rather than continuing and just condemning yourself to the harsh realities of the law.
Now, she did steal the man's car. Do you think this her motive could have been to get the car and for financial gains? Do you think that it's a case of, somebody probably sent her to do this? It beats your mind when you see reports and encounter situations like this where you want to ask yourself, what exactly was the motive? What do you think the motive was for this action? Do you think she did it because she wanted to run? Then running away with his car, I mean, is that not a leeway for her to be caught easily? When you look at the scope
That's
of
what
right, the scope of this
yeah.
situation, what comes to your mind?
Obviously, I mean, investigations are still ongoing, but if
Right.
you look at it critically, you'd see it was a pre-planned attempt, definitely. Like she planned to kill, poison the man.
Right.
But you can see their means leaving the syringe, taking the car. I mean, there are cameras everywhere. There's no way she could have escaped. So definitely, this was something she did, and she's not. It's not like she's an expert in doing this, obviously. So I won't say it was she was sent. I think she probably did it for some motives. I don't know. It could be monetary. You know,
Right.
maybe she asked the man for money, or the man did something to her. We don't know. I mean, there are a couple number of things that could have went wrong. We don't know if they had some sort of sexual relations that, you know, she was not happy with and wanted to get back. You know, it could be 1,000 things. Definitely, she did. Taking his car, you know, paints a picture like she needs some sort of monetary
Validation of some sort.
thing from the, if I may put it.
Right.
Not sure what all that, as investigation goes on, we'll probably find out why she did that. But I don't think she was threatened by anybody, given how loose and, you know, the oath was carried out. It's definitely from our own.
Very well. Mr. Kolawole, also, there's something that, you know, because I cited the story of Chidima when I started, when I was done discussing the report. I want to gather your thoughts as regards this whole trend of sugar daddy. Some people call it sponsorship mentality that we now have, and married men or older men. Now, for me, it's divided into two. Now, there are married men, then there are older men. The older men part are, so oftentimes, some of them might not even be necessarily still married. They might be widowed, they might be separated, you know, chasing after younger women. And married men having extramarital affairs with, you know, younger women other than their spouses. Do you think that when things like this happen, people begin to draw the line on these social relationships? Because it is difficult for you to plan with somebody, oh, tomorrow I'm going to take you, tomorrow we are going to go over here and just chill. And the next morning the person turns out dead. Do you think that this should be, you know, some form of an alarm raised in the minds of both men and women engaging in these social relationships? Because if you look at the tenets of this story, they were not seen in public. They were not seen in a restaurant. They got a short-let apartment to spend time together, right? Do you think that this should be like a warning sign, a blowing alarm for people that engage in similar types of relationships?
Definitely. I mean, for those that engage in these relationships, just like you said, the sugar daddies and sugar mommies all together, they should just I mean, they can hear and see what's going on, and that sort of relationship. I'm in no place to just say anything. I don't think it's even or against any law. That's it. You cannot. I mean, she's 35, right?
Right.
Right, and he's 65. Well, a huge. Whatever it is they had going on, we don't know how long it was going on for. There are some people that have such relationships and nobody has died. So I just feel like some of these younger women that go into these relationships, they're going to it for monetary validation. Just like, you know, we know most of them. I won't say all of them, but most of them go for validation. So at the end of the day, maybe they probably think they can get enough money out of it, they can take the leave, right? Then you find out that maybe the man in the relationship is not forthcoming, or maybe he's just giving, you know, like 2% with financial power. The woman is not happy with it. You know, they expected more from the relationship they have. Then that's probably where the thought starts coming from. Maybe you feel you can abscond with their money, or you can, you know, dupe them or whatever. So it's just that's just the reality. It takes out of 100% of this sort of relationship, maybe percent of them are healthy. The rest are just there for what they can get. The men are there for the sexual, part of it, and the women are there for probably the financial part of it. So it's more like a transaction in most cases. So I think that's just the reality of these things. And I just feel like whatever you're out there doing, as it's like you could be married, which is wrong, by the way. I'm glad you broke down to that. So let me mention that if you're married and you're in this sort of relationship, it's obviously wrong. Depending on the religion. Even I don't think any religion supports that. And if you're married to the person in Islam, to have such relationships with older women, younger women. If you're an older man and you're interested in younger woman, well, like I said, it's choice, but keep your eyes open and just whatever relationship you are building, understand what you're getting. If it's transactional, it's a give and take. Both parties should be aware of what they are getting. Basic.
All right.